Heartbreaking Wuhan. Weary Alexa. Struggles as Japanese Prodigy advances. The humid air of Wuhan clung to Alexa like a second skin. It wasn't just a heat. It was a heaviness of expectation, the fatigue of relentless travel, the invisible burden that every young tennis star carries when the world begins to expect miracles. The stadium lights flicker across the blue hardcourt of the Wuhan Tennis Center, painting streaks of silver across her tired face. The crowd was sparse but loud, a mix of murmuring locals and a few Filipino, flags waving proudly from the upper decks. Every cheer for her name echoed like a heartbeat. "Let's go, Alex," shouted one fan, voice cracking with emotion. Alex gave a faint nod, not to the crowd, but to herself, a silent promise she had made it this far. The Wuhan WDA 1000, her biggest event of the year. Yet, as she tightened her ponytail and bounced the ball before her serve, something inside fell off. The rhythm that usually flowed through her, that dance between precision and power, felt tangled in exhaustion. And across the net stood a calm storm. Mu Yukijima, Japan's rising star, a player known for her precision, grace, and serenity that made her game almost poetic. If Alex was fire, Mu was water. The stage was set, one ready to burn, the other ready to flow. The first serve, hope, the first set began with promise. Alex served with confidence. Heavy topspin, strong. Placement, her trademark left-handed. Angles, slicing to the Wuhan air. She hit 2 aces in her opening game. The crowd roaring each time her ball kissed. Line, Mio, however, was unflinching. Her returns were soft yet surgical. Her footwork silent and ghost-like. When Alex blasted forehands, Mu absorbed them like silk, redirecting, reshaping, and eventually unraveling Alex's rhythm, point by point. At 2:2, Alex gritted her teeth. At 3:3, she shouted in frustration. At 4-5, the fatigue began to show. Her serve slowed. Her steps hesitated. Each rally became a test of endurance rather than aggression. The match was not just physical. It was mental warfare. The first set slipped away. 6-4 Yukijima. Alex walked her chair, eyes downcast. Her coach's voice cut through the crowd noise. "You're fine, Alex. You just need to breathe. You're overhitting. Play your rhythm." But the rhythm, it wasn't their night. Her chest rose and fell rapidly. Sweat dripped from her wristbands. She took a long sip of her drink and stared at her racket as if searching for answers in its strings. The mind battled between games. Her thoughts raced. She thought about Suzhou just a week ago. The emotional roller coaster, the fine, the controversy, the tears she had behind. Her smile, she had bounced back to reach Wuhan, but the mental scars still act. She thought of home, Manila, her mother's calm voice, her brother cheering from the side of the court, her father texting her after every win. And then she thought, what if this was her breaking point? What if the world saw this as a star of her decline rather than a growing pain? No, she shook her head. I'm not done yet. When the second set began, she came out, swinging. Her forehand screamed across the net, a flash of red and yellow. Energy. She moved with renewed focus, attacking Mio's backhand, charging the net with courage. The crowd rallied behind her, sensing the spark reigniting. Go, Alex. You can do this. Each point became a fight, each scream a release of fear. At 3-1, it looked like the tide was turning, but Mio, ever composed, adjusted, absorbed, and countered. She didn't attack with power. She suffocated with patience, long rallies, deep slices, corner-to-corner precision. Every shot forcing Alex to run, reach, stretch beyond her limit. By 4-2, for Alex's legs felt like concrete. She double faulted once, twice, and when the final backhand from Yo clipped the line for 6-4. 6-4. The silence that followed was almost tender. Alex stood motionless for a moment, eyes closed, lips pressed tight. The heartbreak wasn't loud. It was quiet, like a sigh at the end of a long dream. The walk of reflection. The crowd applauded, and Miyu bowed respectfully. A gesture that only deepened the ache in Alex's chest. She smiled thin and forced, before walking toward the net for the handshake. Good match, Mio said, softly. You too, Alex replied, voice trembling. As she packed her bag, the camera lingered on her. The girl from the Philippines who had fought, traveled, cried, and risen again and again through every heartbreak the tennis world could throw at her. She slung her bag over her shoulder, waved at the crowd, and walked off. But this wasn't defeat. It was transformation. Behind closed doors in the locker room, Alex sat quietly on the bench. The hum of showers echoed behind her, the buzz of victory and defeat swirling through the air. She scrolled through her phone, messages from family, teammates, and fans flooding her inbox. Still proud of you, Alex. Rest and come back stronger. Win or lose, you inspire us. She smiled weakly. Her team entered. Her coach, her trainer, her physiotherapist. You okay? Her coach asked. Alex nodded, but tears brimmed anyway. I just felt so heavy. Today, my legs wouldn't move. Her coach sighed. That's normal, Alex. You've been playing nonstop for months. You're 20, you're not a machine. You're human, and that's okay. Alex laughed softly, through tears. Sometimes I wish I was a machine. Machines break. Champions. Rebuild. Those words lingered. Flashbacks. The journey as she rested. That night, memories flooded back. Moments that shaped her. The first international junior match. The butterflies. The tears of her mother as she won her first ITF title, her French Open Juniors moment when she held a flag high and realized she could stand among the world's best. Her decision to turn pro, to walk away from a normal teenage life for a dream stitched with loneliness, jet lag, and endless pressure. And then 2025, the year that both broke her and defined her. Suzhou, Wuhan, tears, triumphs, all part of the same journey. Every heartbreak had become a stepping stone. The Japanese Prodigy. Meanwhile, across the city, Miyu Yukijima sat at her press conference, her tone humble yet confident. Alex is a strong opponent, she said through a translator. She plays with emotion, and I respect that. Today was my day. Next time may be hers. When asked how she handled the pressure, Mu smiled faintly. By breathing, by remembering why I love tennis. Those words echoed like a lesson. Alex, watching later that night, nodded to herself. Maybe that was what she needed. Not more power, not more pressure, but more peace. The morning after. The next morning, Wuhan was calm. Alex woke. Early. Epilogue. The dream lives on. Months later, when Alex reached another WTA final, this time in Kuala Lumpur, the commentators recalled that night in Wuhan. Remember when Eala fell to Yukijima? Look at her now, stronger, sharper, wiser. Her fans chanted louder than ever. The Philippine flag waved proudly under floodlights. And in that moment, Alex looked up, smiling, through tears, and whispered softly, every heartbreak was worth it. Closing. Lines. Wuhan wasn't the end of Alex's story. It was a storm before her. Sunrise. And as the world watched her rise again, one truth became undeniable. Heartbreak doesn't break heroes, it builds them. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next,